with Dr. Neal.
And as the cadre members make their way to the podium, I'd like to just share this is the equity cadre under the direction of Mr. Pete Ferguson. And their focus is being a student-led group focusing on issues of equity, awareness, and change within the school district and the community. And they're here to provide an update of their work throughout the year and some recommendations for all of our work going forward. And I'll turn it over to them.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, distinguished board members. My name is Ali Wali. I'm a member of the Lincoln Public Schools Equity Cadre, and my purpose is to use my loud voice to let others who aren't as loud as I am be heard. Before we begin today, as we do with each of our monthly meetings, we acknowledge that we are living on the past, present, and future homelands of the Pawnee, Oda-Missouri, Omaha, and Kansa peoples.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Bugai, he, him, and my purpose is to be vocal.
Hello, my name is Marlena Sawfeld. My pronouns are she, her, and my purpose is to be the person that I wish that I had when I was younger.
Good evening, I'm Mikey Pitts, he, him, and my purpose is to give everyone an equal chance at everything.
My name is Emily Chitis, she, her, and my purpose is to share stories and the impact they have on our actions and words.
Good evening. My name is Kaylee Danker, she, her, a Lincoln Public Schools District Scholar Equity Cadre member. My purpose is to spread light and positivity while educating others, and I'm a Lincoln East High School senior. We want to thank the district for providing us with this space. Our presence, along with other members seated here, is to advocate for our collective purpose and continued progress, which we define as a positive change that doesn't stop for anything. We desire that our presentation facilitates reflection and takeaways that transition a systemic framework into a concrete, equitable future. The cadre provides a lens to address your mission, a commitment to providing quality education for all 42,000 plus LPS students and the development of responsible adults who are productive citizens of a pluralistic community, nation, and world, who are prepared to learn throughout their lives and who are appreciative of the arts, history, and culture while holding district staff accountable for achieving the school's mission through the most effective and efficient use of available resources. We centered our time this year around how are LPS scholars thinking, seeing, and feeling about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in schools, and how are scholars being impacted by the current LPS school climate. Examples include our contribution and feedback to Dr. Neal in the Athletic 6000 policy, and because of our input, changes were considered and made. We engaged with Ms. Kara Lucas-Ritt, Director of Early Childhood, and her team in March. We were exposed and provided our voices and suggestions to current policies and practices to enhance awareness and access.
At the start of this year, our group was charged with building community, but maintaining the momentum of those who came before. We wanted to be deliberate and thoughtful to accelerate progress and equity. To guide us, we asked, how do we implement equity and inclusion into primary education? We not only investigated, but took actions through Q3 facilitation of our equity module, creating the scholarly experience, collaboration with Mr. Ferguson's 4th grade track scholars empowerment program. We modeled representation matters by facilitating diverse story time in preschools and Lincoln City libraries.
Our knowledge and efforts were expanded with engagements with various department leaders, our respective school leaders, staff of diversity, community members, and peers. We have gained increasing insight and the ability to think critically about how we can and must elevate our voice to ensure the support mission of LPS applies to all. Dr. Gosman, as you recall, our committee asked you during your interview process a question developed by scholar Daniel Yu. How will you keep LPS neutral and unified in times of public divide? We recognize with a large community and scholars with differing experiences and lenses come different views and values. This causes tension within the community and at times our schools. Furthermore, with your All Means All action plan, your position to unify LPS is more important than ever. To create a unified district, I should be given an equitable education tailored to fit my needs. This also means LGBTQ+ scholars, Black and Brown scholars, scholars with any disability, and other marginalized students should feel seen and be provided an inclusive environment with non-discriminatory accommodations and continue to be treated with respect. We encourage LPS to model what is expected in the classrooms of a growing diverse district. Scholars and community members should feel that their beliefs are being seen and valued by LPS. Moving forward, LPS should firmly state its stance in detail that all truly means all, so that every side of an issue can be heard and so one can harbor various values, but they are not permitted to alienate any scholar like myself, Emily Chaires.
As addressed by the All Means All action plan, behaviors represented in an area of disproportionality and are an increasing concern to staff and scholars. We've met with the Director of Student Services, Ryan Zabava, and Dr. Gosman. The question isn't, how can we decrease negative behaviors, but rather, how can we turn negative behaviors into positive behaviors? The district already has the multi-tiered system of support and action to provide scholars with behavioral support. The district is using new policies that include, but are not limited to, vape detectors, digital hall passes, and a no phone policy in the classrooms. However, many scholars will try to find ways around the policies. For phones, it's important to know that they're part of our world. Simply restricting scholars will put them behind in the ever-changing society that we live in. Instead, we must help scholars build positive phone use and ensure it isn't a distraction in the classroom and in life. When it comes to vaping, several organizations such as Truth and Smoke Free provide resources for teenagers struggling to quit vaping. Although a vaping addiction isn't easy to quit, being supportive is crucial in the scholar's process of quitting. Negative behaviors don't start out of nowhere. There's always an underlying situation or trauma. Encouraging educators to learn and be open-minded to scholars can build positive relationships, adjust curriculum as needed to create a more lively learning environment, and adjust how to teach and engage with scholars. The district needs to restrict negative behaviors and support the transformation into positive behavior that align with the more significant district goals of scholars becoming meaningful members of a pluralistic society.
My name is Marlena Saalfeld, and like I stated before, my purpose is to be the person that I wish that I had when I was younger. Growing up as a scholar of color has been difficult. I've dealt with things like microaggressions, being in classes where no one looked like me, etc. I've had teachers who would say my name wrong for months, even after being corrected, and at times I felt isolated, like no teacher could truly understand or relate to me. We stress the importance of not overlooking inward expansion and the impact we possess the capability to be educators. Although it is not our responsibility to become educators to ensure that my experience isn't repeated, it is important that we are at least encouraged to pursue this career path. We will enter a profession with promise, joy, and rewards, and yes, some of it will come down to the pay. From our lens, to increase positive outcomes, we need to inspire and support a new generation of educators. A piece of representation of diverse groups helps improve the school culture and student outcomes. When scholars and other staff see representations of themselves, it shapes how they imagine their place in the world. We bring skills, talents, and life experience right now, missing not only in education, but many professions, and the competition for our services is wanted out there. In my future educator self, I share the following advice to other educators. Compliment your scholars that have beautiful bouncy curls, box braids, sew-ins. Lead with your purpose and use your voice to show compassion for others. Set a good example and show Black and Brown students that we too are worthy enough to be respected and loved.
As we move forward, we must remain accountable. As Equity Cadre alum, Allah stated to this board in April 2023, quote, "Accountability means action. We need the platform to elevate scholar voice, especially on diversity, equity, inclusion, race, and belonging," end quote. However, we have our perspective to guarantee our voices will be heard by the district leadership or beyond. Scholar perspectives are crucial to advancing equity within this district and the other districts nationwide. In closing, we ask for the continuation of the following in order to promote an all-means-all environment with intentionality and urgency. For the Board of Education and district leadership, continue elevating diverse and underrepresented voices through platforms like the Cadre, positions, and representation on ongoing and special communities, including but not limited to the Multicultural Advisory Committee, superintendent searches, not that we intend on another one, Dr. Gosman, and strategic action planning. For certificated and classified staff, we are appreciative of your time, investment, and showing up every day, knowing that we aren't always the easiest. That being said, continue establishing expectations of relationships for every student that will personalize the educational experiences. A personal example for me is Yulia Evans, my German teacher. And for our community members, continue modeling and taking into account in this and other boardrooms, demonstrating the pillars of equity, civility, justice, and kindness. We'd be happy to present to you the entire night, but we want to respect time. So we invite you and the community to our Scholars State of Diversity address on Thursday, June 15th. For more information on this or contact us, feel free to reach out to our advisor, Mr. Peter Ferguson. Again, we thank you for the space, but please remember, our words cannot be abandoned if we want our voices to be heard. Scholar voices are the key to progress and equity. We welcome any questions you may have.
Board members, questions or comments? Kathy?
So for me personally, since Mr. Ferguson is here, could you please send the information to Ms. Maxwell to get to the board on your Scholar State of the Union address? Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Annie?
About how big is the cadre and like how often do you meet? Just a little bit of like logistics there.
We have meetings once a month throughout the school year, and there are roughly 40, 45 of us in the cadre.
And is it a self-chosen being part of it?
Oh, like how to join?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think at least for me, I had a teacher reach out to Pete and say that I should join the group, but it's not like, I want to be in it, can I be in it? It's more so a selective process.
And how important is that for that to happen for you? That to be seen like that and asked to be part of it? How important was that for you?
To be in the cadre?
Yeah, and have a teacher say, what do you think about being part of this?
I think to me it meant a lot to see that there was an adult in my life who recognized my passion for equity and recognized that I had a voice that could carry very far and that I had something to say. And this provided me an outlet to speak on what I believe in.
Thank you.
Barb?
First of all, I'm just extremely impressed and proud of you all. You're very positive and you're very thoughtful. And if there's one takeaway that I have from this is that word civility. You were talking about turning negative behaviors into positive behaviors, having a unified, neutral message, positive school climate. All of that comes down to civility, and I want to endorse each of you for leading the way for us adults to learn civility. Thank you very much.
Agreed.
Any other questions or comments? I would just add my thanks and appreciation for you coming here tonight and sharing your perspective. I hope you're able to stick around at least long enough to hear about our board equity report, which is our next item. The feedback that you've given us has been very helpful as we continue to work on the All Means All action plan and other initiatives, and so I look forward to hearing from you again. Thank you. And our next item is the board equity report. And I will call on Sarah when she and her team get up here.